Your child is melting down in the grocery store. Everyone's staring. You feel your heart racing. You've tried everything, reasoning, bribing, threatening timeouts. But nothing works. Sound familiar? Here's what shocked me. Neuroscientists discovered that when kids are overstimulated, their logical brain literally shuts off. That's why talking doesn't work. But there's a 60-second technique that works with their nervous system, not against it. And I'm about to show you exactly how to use it, step by step, so you can go from chaos to calm faster than you ever thought possible. Stay with me, because what you're about to learn will transform those impossible moments into manageable ones. Why your child's brain goes offline, and why this matters. Let me tell you something most parents don't realize. When your child is having a meltdown, they're not being difficult. They're literally experiencing a neurological hijacking. Here's what's happening inside their brain. The amygdala, the brain's alarm system, detects a threat. Could be too much noise, too many people, hunger, tiredness, or sensory overload. When this happens, the amygdala floods the body with stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. This triggers what neuroscientists call the fight, flight, or freeze response. And here's the crazy part. When this alarm system activates, blood flow literally redirects away from the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for logic, reasoning, and self-control. Dr. Dan Siegel, clinical professor of psychiatry at UCLA, calls this flipping your lid. The thinking brain goes offline, and the survival brain takes over. This is why your perfectly logical explanations fall on deaf ears. It's not that your child doesn't want to listen. They physiologically can't process what you're saying. Their brain is in survival mode, and survival mode doesn't do logic. Critical takeaway: you cannot reason with a dysregulated nervous system. You have to regulate first, then educate. Think about the last time you were really stressed or angry. Could someone talk you out of it with logic in that moment? Probably not. Kids are the same, except their nervous systems are still developing, which means they flip their lids way more easily than we do. But here's where it gets interesting. The 60-second reset. Understanding the science first. Now you're probably wondering, okay, but what do I actually do when my kid is losing it? Before I give you the exact steps, you need to understand one key principle that changes everything. Co-regulation comes before self-regulation. Here's what that means. Children under age 7, and honestly, even older kids when they're dysregulated, cannot calm themselves down effectively. Their nervous system literally needs to borrow calm from yours. Dr. Bruce Perry, a leading child psychiatrist, explains it perfectly. Children regulate through relationships. Your child's nervous system is reading your nervous system constantly. When you're calm, their mirror neurons detect that calm and start to match it. When you're anxious or angry, they detect that too and escalate further. It's like emotional Wi-Fi. They're always connected to your signal. This is why the first step isn't about your child at all. It's about you. A 2019 study from Yale University found that parents who regulated their own stress response first were 67% more effective at calming their children compared to parents who immediately tried to manage the child's behavior. 67%! That's not a small difference. That's game-changing. So the 60-second technique I'm about to share starts with a 10-second self-regulation practice. I know what you're thinking. I don't have time to calm myself down when my kid is screaming in public. But trust me, those 10 seconds will save you 10 minutes of escalation. Here's the neuroscience. When you take slow, deep breaths, you activate your vagus nerve, the main nerve of your parasympathetic nervous system. This sends a signal to your brain that says, "We're safe, no emergency here." Your heart rate slows, your cortisol drops, and your child's mirror neurons pick up on this shift immediately. You know what's crazy? Kids can detect changes in your breathing pattern, muscle tension, and vocal tone in milliseconds. They're like little nervous system detectives. So when you regulate yourself first, you're literally giving them the biological signal that it's safe to calm down. But that's not the crazy part. The 60-second technique, step-by-step breakdown. All right, here's the exact protocol. I'm going to break this down into 6 steps that take approximately 10 seconds each. Practice this at home before you need it, because in the moment of chaos, you want this to be automatic. Step 1. The 10-second self-regulation, 0 to 10 seconds. Before you touch your child or say a single word, do this. Take one deep breath in through your nose for 4 counts. Hold for 2 counts. Release through your mouth for 6 counts. Drop your shoulders. Soften your facial expression. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system. You're becoming the calm their nervous system needs to borrow. Think of yourself as a lighthouse in the storm. Steady, grounded, safe. Step 2. The physical connection. 10 to 20 seconds. Now get down to your child's physical level. If they're sitting, sit. If they're on the floor, get on the floor. Eye level matters because it signals equality and safety rather than dominance and threat. Offer gentle physical touch if your child responds well to touch when dysregulated. Some kids do, some don't. You know your child best. This could be a hand on their shoulder, holding their hand, a gentle hug, just sitting close beside them. If they push you away, that's okay. Your calm presence is still co-regulating even without touch. One parent I worked with described this as being their anchor. You're there, steady, not going anywhere, not freaking out. Step 3. The validation phrase, 20 to 30 seconds. Here's where most parents mess up. They try to fix, explain, or dismiss the emotion. Don't do that. Instead, use what therapists call emotion labeling. Say something simple like, "You're really upset right now. This is really hard for you. I see you're feeling big feelings." That's it. You're not agreeing with the behavior. You're not giving in to demands. You're simply acknowledging the emotional experience. Dr. Dan Siegel calls this name it to tame it. When you label an emotion, it actually reduces activity in the amygdala and increases activity in the prefrontal cortex. A 2007 UCLA study using brain imaging found that putting feelings into words, even just labeling "I feel angry," reduces the emotional intensity in the brain's alarm center by up to 50%. 50%! Just from naming it. Your child might not respond verbally yet. That's fine. Their nervous system heard you, and that's what matters. Step 4. The breathing anchor, 30 to 45 seconds. Now we're going to engage their body in regulation. Remember, we can't talk to the thinking brain yet. It's still offline. But we can work with the body. Do one of these, depending on your child's age. For younger kids, 2 to 5. Let's blow out the birthday candles together. Then, model slow exhales. Make it playful. Blow out 5 big candles. For older kids, 6 plus. Breathe with me. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Let's do 5 together. The key is you do it with them, not just instruct them. Your regulated breathing is the model. Kids are natural mimics. Their nervous system will start to sync with yours. If they refuse, that's okay. You keep doing the slow breathing. Your calm is contagious, even if they're not consciously participating yet. Quick thing, if this is already clicking for you, do me a huge favor and smash that like button. It actually tells YouTube to share this with more parents who are struggling with meltdowns. And subscribe if you want more science-backed parenting strategies that actually work in real life. Hit the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Now, back to the final steps. Step 5. The sensory shift, 45 to 55 seconds. We're almost there. Now we're going to create what's called a pattern interrupt, something that shifts their sensory experience and breaks the meltdown loop. Try one of these. Cold water on wrists. Let's get some cold water on our hands. Cold activates the vagus nerve. Pressure, firm, not hard, squeezes on shoulders, or a tight hug if they want it. Proprioceptive input is calming. Sound shift. Lower your voice to almost a whisper. They'll often quiet down to hear you. Visual. Look at me. Can you see my eyes? Watch my finger. Simple, focused task. One mom I worked with keeps a small stress ball in her purse. When her son starts escalating, she hands it to him and says, "Squeeze this as hard as you can." That physical outlet for the stress energy works like magic for him. The goal isn't distraction, it's nervous system redirection. You're giving their body something to do with all that activation energy. Step 6. The simple choice, 55 to 60 seconds. By now, you should notice some de-escalation. Maybe not complete calm, but a shift. Their breathing might slow slightly. They might make eye contact. The screaming might reduce to crying. Now, and only now, you can engage their thinking brain with a simple choice. Not a lecture, not a consequence. Just two options. Do you want to sit here with me, or do you want to go to our calm down spot? Do you need a hug or some space? Should we get some water or take a little walk? Two choices, both acceptable to you. This gives them back a sense of control, which they lost when they flipped their lid, while keeping you in charge of the framework. Dr. Ross Greene, author of The Explosive Child, explains that giving choices activates the prefrontal cortex. It literally brings the thinking brain back online. But the choices have to be simple. A dysregulated brain can't process complex decisions. And here's the beautiful thing. Even if they can't choose yet, you've planted the seed. Their brain is starting to shift from survival mode to thinking mode. Let's be honest. This won't work perfectly every single time, especially at first. But I've seen it transform hundreds of parents' hardest moments. Why this works when everything else fails. So why does this 60-second approach work when timeouts, consequences, and reasoning don't? Because it works with your child's neurobiology instead of against it. Think about what most traditional discipline does. It tries to stop the behavior through external pressure, threats, punishments, isolation. But here's the problem. You cannot punish a nervous system into regulation. It's like yelling at someone having a panic attack to just calm down. It doesn't work because the brain literally cannot comply. The 60-second reset works because it follows what neuroscientists call the bottom-up approach to regulation. You start with the body, breathing, touch, sensory input, which calms the nervous system, which then allows the thinking brain to come back online. Traditional discipline tries to go top-down, using logic and consequences to change behavior. But when the lid is flipped, there's no top brain available to receive that message. Here's a comparison that makes this crystal clear. Traditional approach. Child melts down, parent gets frustrated. Parent lectures or threatens. Child escalates further. Parent enforces consequence. Everyone's upset and dysregulated. Total time, 15 to 30 minutes of misery. 60-second reset approach. Child melts down. Parent regulates self, 10 seconds. Parent co-regulates child, 50 seconds. Child begins to calm, problem-solving becomes possible. Total time, 1 to 3 minutes. A 2021 study from the University of Washington tracked 156 families using co-regulation techniques versus traditional timeout methods. The results? Families using co-regulation reported 78% fewer repeat meltdowns over a 30-day period and significantly lower parental stress levels. But here's what really matters. This approach teaches your child how to regulate, not just to fear consequences. Every time you co-regulate with them, you're building their neural pathways for self-regulation. Dr. Mona Delahook, pediatric psychologist, puts it perfectly. Every moment of co-regulation is a lesson in self-regulation. You're not just stopping a meltdown, you're literally building your child's brain. And here's something that surprised me when I first learned this. What to do after the 60 seconds, the missing piece. Okay, so you've done the 60-second reset. Your child is calmer. The crisis is over. Most parents stop here. Big mistake. This is actually the most important teaching moment, and most of us miss it completely. Once your child is regulated, and this might be 5 minutes later, might be 30 minutes later, you need to do what Dr. Dan Siegel calls connect and redirect. Here's how. First, connect. That was really hard, wasn't it? I'm proud of you for calming your body down. Hug, cuddle, or just be close together. This reinforces that you're on the same team. The meltdown wasn't you versus them. It was both of you versus the big feelings. Then, redirect, teach. Next time you feel that way, what could you do? Your body was telling you something. What do you think it needed? For younger kids, should we make a plan for next time? Keep it brief, 2 to 3 minutes max. Their thinking brain is back online, but it's still fragile. This isn't the time for a 20-minute lecture. One strategy that works beautifully is creating a calm down toolkit together during a calm moment. Get a small box or bag and fill it with a small, squishy toy, a picture of something calming, a glitter jar they can shake and watch, a card with breathing exercises, maybe a small snack. Low blood sugar causes meltdowns. Then, when they're regulated after a meltdown, you can say, "Next time, should we try something from your calm down kit before the big feelings get too big?" You're teaching them to recognize their body's signals earlier and earlier in the escalation cycle. That's the ultimate goal: self-awareness leading to self-regulation. And here's the part nobody tells you. This takes time. You're not going to do this once and have a perfectly regulated child. Dr. Bruce Perry says it takes hundreds of repetitions for new neural pathways to become automatic. But every single time you co-regulate, you're making a deposit in their regulation bank account. I've worked with parents who said, "We did this for 3 weeks and saw no change." Then suddenly, in week 4, their child started using the techniques independently. The brain was building the pathways invisibly, and then, boom, the breakthrough happened. But wait, there's something even more important we need to address. The prevention side, reducing meltdowns before they start. Here's the truth. The 60-second reset is powerful, but preventing meltdowns is even more powerful. And most meltdowns are actually preventable once you understand the pattern. Think of your child's nervous system like a cup. Throughout the day, stressors fill that cup. Hunger, tiredness, sensory input, transitions, disappointments, even positive excitement. When the cup overflows, you get a meltdown. The goal isn't to eliminate stress. That's impossible. The goal is to keep the cup from overflowing. Here are the biggest cup fillers I see. 1. The hunger-anger connection. Hanger is real. Low blood sugar affects the prefrontal cortex within 20 minutes. A study from Cambridge University found that glucose depletion directly impairs emotional regulation. Keep protein-rich snacks accessible. An ounce of prevention here is worth a pound of meltdown. 2. The transition trap. Kids' brains struggle with transitions, stopping one activity and starting another. Give warnings. In 5 minutes, we're leaving. 2 more minutes of playtime. Use timers. Make transitions predictable, and you'll cut meltdowns by 40%. 3. Sensory overload. Bright lights, loud noises, scratchy clothes, too many people. These fill the cup fast for sensitive kids. Notice your child's sensory triggers and reduce exposure when possible. Some kids need noise-canceling headphones at the grocery store. That's not spoiling them. That's preventing nervous system overload. 4. Sleep debt. Every hour of missed sleep increases emotional reactivity by 35%, according to sleep researchers. Non-negotiable. Protect sleep like it's medicine, because neurologically it is. 5. Emotional backpack. Sometimes kids are carrying stress from earlier. Something that happened at school, a friend conflict, anxiety about an upcoming event. They seem fine, but their cup is already half full before the day even starts. Regular emotional check-ins help. How's your body feeling today? Big feelings or small feelings? One dad I worked with started doing a cup check every day after school. He'd ask his daughter, "Is your cup empty, half full, or almost overflowing?" This simple awareness helped him adjust expectations and prevented so many afternoon meltdowns. Here's the reality. You won't prevent every meltdown. Kids are human, they're learning, their brains are developing. But you can probably prevent 60 to 70% of them just by managing these 5 factors. You won't believe what happens next when you combine prevention with the 60-second reset. Real-life success stories. Proof. This actually works. Let me tell you about 3 parents who transformed their hardest parenting moments with this approach. Sarah's story. The grocery store nightmare. Sarah's 4-year-old son had public meltdowns that left her avoiding stores entirely. She'd tried everything: sticker charts, threats, bribes. Nothing worked. When she learned the 60-second reset, she was skeptical. But the next grocery store meltdown, she tried it. Got down to his level, regulated herself first, said, "You're really overwhelmed right now," offered deep breaths together. Her son didn't magically stop crying, but within 90 seconds, he was able to walk to a quiet corner with her. Within 5 minutes, he was calm enough to finish shopping. She told me, "For the first time, I didn't feel like a failure. I had a tool that actually worked." 3 months later, her son started saying, "Mom, I need to breathe," when he felt overwhelmed. He's learning to recognize his body's signals before the meltdown. That's the real win. Michael's story, the morning battles. Michael's 7-year-old daughter fought him every single morning. Clothes, breakfast, brushing teeth, everything. Mornings were 45 minutes of screaming. When he learned about co-regulation, he realized he was starting every morning already stressed, cup half full, which meant she started stressed. He changed his approach, woke up 15 minutes earlier to regulate himself, started mornings with 2 minutes of connection time, just sitting together, maybe a hug, no demands. Then implemented the 60-second reset the moment he saw early dysregulation signs, not after full meltdown. Result? Morning battles decreased by 80% in 3 weeks. He said the game changer was catching it early and regulating himself first. Jessica's story, the bedtime breakdown. Jessica's 5-year-old had meltdowns every single night at bedtime. Refused pajamas, refused teeth brushing, took 2 hours to fall asleep. Jessica was exhausted and resentful. When she started using the prevention strategies earlier dinner, calmer evening routine, sensory-friendly pajamas, and the 60-second reset when needed, everything shifted. The key for her was realizing her daughter's sensory system was overloaded by evening. They created a calm-down hour before bed. Dim lights, quiet activities, minimal talking. Meltdowns dropped from 7 nights a week to maybe once a week, and even those were shorter and less intense. These aren't special kids with special circumstances. These are regular families who learned to work with their child's nervous system instead of against it. The real question is, what would change in your home if you could reduce meltdowns by even 50%? Okay, let's bring this all together. Here's what you need to remember. Your child isn't giving you a hard time, they're having a hard time. When their brain flips its lid, they need you to be the calm their nervous system can borrow. The 60-second reset. Regulate yourself, connect physically, validate emotions, breathe together, create a sensory shift, offer simple choices. Works because it follows neuroscience, not outdated discipline myths. And here's the beautiful truth. Every time you co-regulate, you're teaching regulation. You're building their brain. You're making the next meltdown less likely and less intense. Now I'm curious. What's your biggest meltdown trigger? Is it mornings, bedtime, transitions, or public places? Drop a comment and let me know. I read every single one, and your answer might become my next video. If this helped you, smash that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the practical strategies I share every week. Hit the bell. It actually matters. And speaking of parenting strategies that actually work, in my next video, I'm revealing the 5 parenting rules that completely changed my home. No more yelling, no more power struggles, just connection and cooperation. You won't believe rule number 3. It goes against everything we were taught about discipline, but the science is undeniable. You're going to want to see that one. Thanks for being here. You're doing an amazing job, even on the hard days. I'll see you in the next one.